These are the ruins of the original gate.
Opened in 1933 by Henry Kimmler, its purpose was enlarged to include forced labor and eventually the imprisonment of Jews, ordinary German and Austrian criminals, and eventually foreign nationals from countries which Germany occupied or invaded.
Arbeit macht frei
Is a German phrase meaning work makes you free. The slogan is known for having been placed over the entrances to a number of Nazi concentration camps like Dachau.
Dachau concentration camp was the first concentration camp established by the Nazis. Its main purpose was to hold many of the political prisoners. The Dachau concentration camp is located on an abandoned munition factory in the medieval town of Dachau. Prisoners lived in constant fear of brutal treatments and terror detentions. Dachau wasn't an extermination camp, but many of the Jews died in the camp due to extreme labor, lack of food, torture, and prolonged exposure to natural elements.
Like in this picture, these men are standing outside, and sometimes when a prisoner wasn't at attendance, they would have to stay out there for hours until the prisoner was found.
Dachau was a model camp for the other concentration camps located around Europe. It was a training facility for the SS, and many of the prisoners were used for medical experiments. As Dachau had many different types of prisoners: political prisoners, pure Jews, half-Jews, quarter-Jews, and communists. Therefore, there were different colors of armbands for the SS to recognize the prisoners in camp.
They started out with 12 barracks, and since they were accumulating more prisoners, they had to build more, so ended up as 32 barracks. Later on, they were destroyed, but the outlines were left, and since the memorial was created, they built one barrack to show us what it would look like. This is the Dachau concentration camp fence, once electrified to prevent prisoner escape. And there was only one person that successfully escaped. Over the 12 years of use as a concentration camp, the Dachau administration recorded the intake of 206,000 prisoners and deaths of 32,000. Crematoria were constructed to dispose of the deceased. Visitors may now walk through the buildings and view the ovens used to cremate the bodies, which hid the evidence of the deaths. This is where the prisoners thought they were going to take a shower, but they were actually going to be gassed. This is where the gas comes from. They would connect gas pipes to this on the outside, and gas would flow in, and everyone inside the gas chamber would be dead. Then, they would be taken into this room, and they would be cremated. Which that means they were burnt into ash.
The Dachau concentration camp memorial was established for 3 reasons: to learn more about the history, to remember the past so it will never happen again in the future, and lastly, to give evidence to the existence of the crimes convicted by the Nazis. The camp was finally liberated in 1945 by the US military force and was used as a military base by the US Army.
There are several religious memorials within the memorial site, and there is no charge to visit.